Was recorded.
Congratulations, Patreon folks. You got an
There
extra.
you go.
Make
A little
sure to-
risque.
No, that's a good point. But there have been problems with notifications, so we'll see if it comes up now. That is not the first time I've done that. Why do I even have that recording button there? There we go.
Okay. Ho, ho. Ho, it's GRD Weekly.
How dare you, sir? I'm a lady.
Everybody, welcome to the world and the stuff and the nonsense. We're the fine folks from GeekRadioDaily.com, welcoming you to GRD Weekly episode number.
No idea.
It's been a month. Nobody knows.
I know.
That's fine. The folks bringing it to you tonight, the woman who has some regrets. It's the Flinstress.
You know, no matter how much we fought, I've always hated watching you leave.
The lady whose question you need to answer. It's Carol the Cat.
Who said you could talk to me?
The man who's trying to stay young the best he can is podcaster Rich Sigfrid.
No one my age says those words in that order.
And I'm the guy who has a way for words. I'm the wonderful Billy Flynn.
And now the shadows of evening wrap their silken arms around the troubles of the day, my children.
Indeed, indeed. Welcome to it. What happened geeky there, yo?
Well, let me tell you.
Tell me.
I mean, it's been like a month. You know, we had to have a break for a little bit there. But yeah, so I have done so much geeky stuff, y'all. All right, let's see. Where am I even going to start? We just watched an episode of Lower Decks. We have one more left, the season finale. We have not watched that yet, but wow, that was really fun. This whole show is so fun. Is this the last season or is this just the season finale?
I think this is the last season, isn't it? Yeah, this is the last season.
Oh, I love
know.
this show. Maybe they'll do specials or they'll show up in other ways. I don't even know, but man, that was great. I'm loving Lower Decks.
Can't believe all the
Let's see. Other highlights. Let's just go. What?
I can't believe all the people that got to come back for the show for this.
Yeah.
I know.
Watched.
Crazy, crazy. We're watching Tracker, but we're behind on Tracker. We're behind on a lot of things because we've been like traveling and we've had family in from out of town and just like doing all of the things. We went to see Kevin graduate. Kevin, new fan of the show. People have seen he's been on GRD before. He graduated from college, so that was super fun.
Wow.
And yay! And then one of the two times I saw Wicked was down there. So has everybody seen Wicked?
Nope.
I have not.
Oh.
I don't like the book. I've never seen the musical. It wasn't high on my list.
I love the book.
Like Ariana Grande.
Unless it's going back and watching old episodes of Victorious or Sam and Cat. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of hers either.
I mean, I will see it. I will see it. I probably will go to a sing along, just because that seems a little bit more fun.
Okay.
But yeah, we had a chance, but we went and saw Moana 2 instead. So.
Okay, we did also see Moana 2, and I really enjoyed that as well. In some ways, in other ways, it seemed a little bit just kind of like a filler continuation of the other one. There weren't any songs that were really stuck in my head afterwards. I was singing the original songs in my head. You know, it wasn't Lin-Manuel Miranda, it was the guy he worked with on Moana. So, I mean, there just weren't. You know, a lot of times for a soundtrack, you try to go for something that you don't have any skippable tracks, but this was like all skippable tracks. There were parts that were fun, don't get me wrong. And Moana, the original movie, had such a place in my heart. So just to see her, you know, badass on screen and kind of her progression and growth was really fun for me. How did you feel about it, Carol?
I thought the songs were completely unmemorable. And like you, I thought the plot was a bit of a retread. I went with 3 13-year-olds, however. I would rank this about a 2.75. It was, to me, it felt very much like a direct-to-video or direct-to-streaming sequel. But the 13-year-olds, their only complaint was they needed more Timothoa because he only shows up at the end, and they did say the songs weren't as good as the original, but they all three gave it 4.75. The kids loved it. The 2 adults were like, eh. So
my thing to this was it felt like they were going to do a series and decided to scrap and go, you know what? No, we've got enough. Let's just do a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they
Yeah.
couldn't quite fill a whole series, so they just cut some and made it a movie. Yeah.
It's going to come back. Let's do a movie.
Yeah. But I mean, it's harder to get, Dwayne Johnson doing the voice and everything and all of that. And
Well,
they're working on
they're
the
filming
live
the live.
action. Right. I know. So it's just kind of like, yeah. Yeah.
I always thought it was odd that they released this, considering they're doing a live action 2 years from now. So
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't terrible, but I wouldn't go see it in the theater if you haven't already. If it's still out, I don't know. Let's see. Also on my list, let's see. We watched this really cute movie. It was called The Naughty Nine. I'm trying to remember which streaming service this was on. It was either Amazon or
Pornhub?
Netflix or one of those. And it's about this group of kids who it's like the last day before winter break, and they organize a heist to break into the confiscation closet, like all the stuff that teachers and the admin have like taken away from kids over the course of the school year. And they break in and steal all the stuff and sell it back to all the kids. So they're definitely on the naughty list. And so Santa just like totally stiffs them, and they get this reconnaissance that says that Santa has all their toys in a warehouse just with their names on them. He just didn't actually deliver them. So they plan a whole heist to break into the North Pole. And I'm not going to tell you anymore, but it was like really cute and fun. And like most of the kids were actually halfway decent actors in it. So we enjoyed the Naughty Nine. That was really cute. Um, we also saw Red One again. I think I had talked about this one before, but my father-in-law was in town and we watched that.
It was so much
And
fun,
then
wasn't it?
also watch.
Because I know I talked about it the last show, and it was so much fun.
It was fun.
And
Yeah.
and basically J.K. Simmons, almost every time he had like a good monologue, I was just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
because it just
They
it
gave him
hit
some
me,
good
hit
stuff
me.
to work with, and then he got to sleep most of the time. So
Good gig.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
hmm Yeah. That just it was nice to see Chris Evans be sort of a jerk, but then also, of course, he has to have the redemption arc, of course. So that was kind of fun. So it has good rewatchability. I've already seen it twice, so
Mm-hmm.
it's just a fun kind of movie.
It's going in
We
yearly
also watched
rotation.
on Netflix one called That Christmas. It was animated. It's set in this little town in England, and they get like a snow blizzard and calamity ensues. But it was really touching. It was really like cute. Like it was like funny, enough laugh moments to keep a kid engaged, but it also had some heart. So that was That Christmas. Now, the big thing that was like totally dominating our whole life before we had family come in from out of town is From. Now, Flynn has talked about this before, but he finally got me to watch From.
I was like, if you
So
watch
this
one
is,
episode and don't want to see more, I'll never talk about it again.
yeah, Carol, have you watched From?
I have not. It's on my to be watched list, but I haven't started it yet.
Okay, yeah, because I don't always like horror. Billy definitely has to like pre-screen horror for me because he knows like what I can handle and what I can't. I don't like haunted houses, but I can handle monsters and a little bit of gore. And I really, really like the whole like, ooh, what's going on here? Like we don't know, and we're trying to solve the mystery of what could possibly be happening in this town. Um, it's got a kind of like a lost vibe to it a little bit, but just sort of like you don't really know what's going on. And just like, because you put yourself in those shoes and you go, gosh, how would I react if I was in that situation? And it is just, I can't even describe it. It doesn't come along all that often where there's something on TV that is just like very different from anything else you've ever seen on TV. And this is just like that.
And that's like
This,
4
yeah.
seasons in, right?
Yeah, we've only
Yeah.
Wrapped the third season, which
we
I
just finished the third.
hasn't because we're in the second season right now.
Right
Okay.
now we're in the second season, but yeah. Ooh.
This
Yeah.
season finale is going to hurt her brain.
Right. Well, but it's one of those shows where it's like it gives you some, it makes you feel like you're figuring it out, but then there's always more questions. So, usually with shows like that, I prefer to wait until they're done before I watch them. But I mean, at this point, wanted some extra friends to strategize with about like what we think is going on. So as soon as I get caught up to where he is, we can like hypothesize and conspiracy theory along with the
Because
show.
I've got a grand conspiracy theory about what this is that I cannot wait to talk about because, yeah. I've got a crazy theory.
It could be bunnies.
Which even includes why the show is called From. Thank you.
Oh. I don't have anything like that yet. So anyway, yeah. Woo, From.
Not deep
But
enough.
it is gory. Like I definitely have some friends who don't like gory blood guts kind of horror, so if that's not your thing. Usually there's enough time to look away. There's not a lot of like all of a sudden gore. You get some warning first. I'll just say that. Yeah, From. Ooh. Also, we watched, and we're definitely behind, a couple of episodes behind, but Dune Prophecy. You guys checked that out at all?
I've checked out the first episode. I'm behind on it. I need to catch up. I enjoyed the first episode. I think it doesn't have that cinematic look of Game of Thrones or House of Dragon. Some parts do and some parts don't.
Right.
Right. But I'm intrigued enough. I haven't read the prequel books at all. I've read the 6 Dune books, but there's like 30 books that Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson have written that are all prequels, and I'm hesitant to pick one up because it's 30 books. I'm
right?
old.
You're like,
I may not live that long.
But you do at the same time, right? But you have an actual life to live. Yeah.
Yeah. I have other books I need to read.
So, and I read Nora Roberts had a second one in her trilogy out, which is The Mirror, which same thing, also very much felt like a filler second book. Like it didn't really advance the plot as much as I would have liked it to. So, that's the theme for my Geeky Sweek is unsatisfying sequels, if we will. And then yeah, and my father-in-law was in town, so we went to a Civil War museum, and that was interesting. A Richmond Civil War museum. Decent job of kind of balancing things, if you will. And then, yeah, I feel like there's like something big that I'm missing, but I always have to do that to give Billy something to say in his Geeky Sweek. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that has been my Geeky Sweek.
Cool.
Carol.
Okay. So I did a complete rewatch of the 4 seasons of Stranger Things.
Okay.
Just because I needed something that I really, really liked to get my brain off of things. So I just started watching that. It holds up. It holds up so well. And I was having fun with the subtitles because I watch things with subtitles.
Yes.
And the winner so far is Eldritch Gurgling. I think that is going to be the name of my death metal mumblecore band. That's Eldritch Gurgling is the second favorite was Squelching Wetly.
Yep. So they get the best subtitles on that show.
So I think I may have convinced Mikey Mason to make a song about the subtitles of Stranger Things. So
that's funny. And not that you should be letting your children watch Stranger Things, but if there's any geeky parents out there, when you're watching TV and you turn this closed captions on, that's a really good way to help people who are learning how to read or learning a second language.
Oh.
Yes. So I enjoyed that. I finished up What We Do in the Shadows. I know a lot of people were kind of dissatisfied with this season. I thought this season was fine. The finale is... I take off his headphones. The finale...
Yes.
I'm slowly working through it, so I'm taking my headphones off so you can talk about it.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening.
I can see why people hate it. They were trying to satirize finales. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. And I think there was a very large section of fandom that was expecting something to happen that are very pissed that it didn't.
See, that just because you expect something to happen is no reason to get mad at
Doesn't mean it's going to. Doesn't mean it's going to.
You're
so
the show because your theory didn't pan out.
Yeah. I was watching something else and I can't remember what it was series-wise. But movie-wise, I'm done with it. I'm done with the TV. Movie-wise, I went and saw Heretic, starring Hugh Grant. 2 Jehovah's Witnesses knock on the wrong door. Very good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. That's currently sitting at, I think, number 4 of my top 10 of the year. Then I watched Relax, I'm from the Future, starring Reese Darby.
Oh, that's on my
And
list.
totally, it's very
Oh,
charming.
he's great.
He's great, and it's about a guy that comes from the future. He's got a plan to save the world. It's
You
just
do
very
a
charming.
a pretty decent New Zealand accent there, Carol the cat.
I've seen
Best I
Reese
can do.
Darby in person. Got a double high five from him. So
Wow.
yeah,
Best
He
I
did a
can do
voice
is
in That
piss off,
Christmas.
ghost.
yeah.
Wait, Reese Darby in that Christmas, that thing.
Yeah, That Christmas.
That Christmas.
Yep, he did a voice in that. Yep.
So that was charming, and I totally enjoyed that. I watched Joker 2. I'm not going to try the French. I was very disappointed, actually. I applaud the audacity. But this is 3 very nicely shot songs and a very boring episode of Law and Order between them. It really didn't do much for me. So it's like he shot 3 really beautiful music videos and then didn't think about what he was putting between them.
Wow.
So I applaud the audacity. If he had leaned into the musical bit and made it like a musical, I would have appreciated it more. But he just, I don't know, it just didn't seem like he knew what to do with it. So it fizzled for me. I didn't like it.
Would it be better on hallucinogenic drugs?
Yeah. Then I watched Smile 2, which is way better than Smile.
Oh, you and I have a very different take on this film.
I do think it is copying a lot of better horror films, but this one was fun to watch. It's not going to win any awards or anything, but I liked it far more than the first one. I thought the first one was really not, at least people smiled in this one. Only like 4 people smiled in the first film.
I remember you telling me after watching the first one, they should have done more of the smile stuff.
Yeah. And the best jump scare of that movie was spoiled completely by the trailer. So yeah, Smile 1 didn't do a whole lot for me. Smile 2 was fun. So then I watched Moana 2, which I've already talked about. I watched Y2K, which is an okay comedy.
Why not 2K?
about the end of the world, where Y2K actually, is the end of the world and AI takes over, or tries to take over. I thought it starred the wrong person.
Yeah, it should have had Chris Jericho, the Ayatollah of rock and rolla.
The funniest thing about it, I can spoil the cameo if you don't care, but there is a cameo, and that was the funniest thing about the movie. Okay. Does anyone care? Fred Durst shows up in this film out of nowhere.
Okay.
So the AI is like killing people and taking over and putting machines in people and stuff, and they find Fred Durst in this town, as he's lost his whole band, and because this takes place in 2000, he's it's full Limp Bizkit territory here. And they go to this shelter with all these humans, and he gets on stage, is like, "Do we have any Biscuit fans?" And one guy in the back goes, "No." Ew.
Wow.
I thought that was the funniest thing of the movie.
Did someone say biscuits? I'm a bit peckish.
But that, and everyone in the movie called him Fred Durst the entire time. Well, Fred Durst over there.
Wow.
So that was the funniest thing about the movie. Then I watched a Christmas Wish on Mark's stream, which starred a dead squirrel.
Yes. The Great Rupert, because nothing says Christmas more than a dead squirrel.
And a taxidermied squirrel. Then I watched a movie called Flow, which is an animated film from Latvia, although there's no dialogue, so you don't have to read anything. It's about a kitty cat whose home is flooded, and the cat pairs up. This is obviously a fanciful land, because he pairs up with a capybara, a secretary bird, golden retriever, and a ring-tailed lemur. And they try and save themselves in this flood. And it's adorable. And I loved it.
Come on, guys, follow me. I know the way that we can go. Let's move.
What was it called?
Flow.
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 Now, this was the prequel to Hustle and Flow, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, that cat went on to a very big rap career. Then I watched Conclave, which is about choosing a pope, and it's far more interesting than I just made that sound. It's actually kind of nice because it kind of shows that these guys in the Vatican are all a bunch of middle-aged dudes in dresses that are bitchy and catty and backstabbing. And I am shocked that the ending of this
Documentary?
movie is not getting more controversy.
Okay.
I can spoil it after. I don't want to spoil it here because it is a very good movie, and that also sits on my top 10 right now. And it might actually win Ray Fiennes an Oscar finally.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm surprised the ending of this movie is not getting controversy. Then I watched Carry On, which is a Netflix movie, kind of in the vein of Die Hard. Takes place at Christmas, but not necessarily a Christmas movie. It's an action movie. I thought it was fun. It's not Die Hard, but it's good. It's a good sit down and watch a thriller. And then I watched The Sentinel because I don't know why. I just felt like 70s horror and I'd never seen The Sentinel before. And that was a fun movie. That was bizarre, but I actually enjoyed that quite a bit. About a model in New York who rents the wrong apartment.
Happens to the best of us.
Then I went to a play. I went and saw Pride and Prejudice Christmas at Pemberley, which takes place 2 years after Pride and Prejudice, and I thought it was actually quite fun. So,
And this was before
and
the zombie attack, right?
yeah, that was before the
Okay.
zombie attack.
Right.
Yeah. Other than that, I've been drinking a lot of tea, and I've been working, and I've been driving around, and it's been a very busy month. But I did obviously make time for a bunch of movies. So that's been my geeky this week.
And by the way, Carol, we do have a question from the chat room, because with all the watching of stuff, does that mean there's going to be more episodes of Cinemistress?
Yes, there is. I have to, this holiday season, I just haven't had the energy to record, which is why Two Woke Bonnets is kind of on hold until after the first of the year too. But you're definitely next week getting a review of Nosferatu and my ranking of the Star Trek films. And then after the first of the year, I'm going to get back on a regular schedule. I've been kind of running two households right now because my brother's in hospital. So it's been a very frantic 4 weeks for me.
You know what, Carol? I think I speak for all of our listeners when I say we'll take what we can get.
Nope.
Yes.
We love you, and we hope.
And
that
I will
everything
have
works
a
out.
best of the 10 best to go out too.
There you
But
go.
I'll do better after the first of the year, I swear. I'm coming back. I do want to do tea and tones again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be back and recording and uploading. I'm tired.
Do what you can when you can.
When you can.
You've got an audience for it. So my geeky week. So first of all, I wanted to apologize about us missing the episode 2 weeks ago. That was partially my fault, and I'm only saying that because I don't really feel bad. My dad died. I had to, basically I got the call, shortly before we were about to record. And, I had to skedaddle to Idaho, and where my dad was, and I was there with him, when he passed. It was not an easy time, but like I said, oftentimes whenever I'm faced with anyone passing, that it's going to be a bad day, but not a sad day, because, depending on whatever your personal beliefs are, their personal beliefs are, they're reaping the reward of a hard and long life lived. They're getting to shuffle off this mortal coil and not have to worry about all the BS that we have to deal with taxes, pooping, brushing our teeth, all of those things.
I like pooping.
Well, okay. So for some people, that is something that they will miss, but there are other things that but so it was a good time just kind of hanging with my dad, because fortunately he was in, as good spirits as he could be for the most part. It was just lung disease, just kind of came out of nowhere. This dude, my dad, he was 80. 3 months ago, he was kayaking. Probably about a month ago, he was hiking. So, I got to hang out with him, but, but yeah, it was, he was looking at the rest of his life being hooked up to a hospital and a facility just to breathe. And so he was just like, no, thank you. And so I was able to be there for him and help him through some tough times and stuff like that. Some of the toughest that he's ever had to face. And it was just a really cool bonding moment, and getting to find out a little bit more about my dad's naval service. Because there was some stuff that he didn't talk about. Not that it was like tough for him or anything like that. It was just, he would usually talk about the fun that he had hanging out with the guys, or, silly situations, but actually getting to find out, because he was at the VA hospital and talking with the chaplain, who former special ops dude.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was just a cool guy, and just, getting to just chat with some of these guys, and my dad and him talking about their naval, their time in the military. And I was just like, okay. I mean, I knew my dad was cool, but damn. So I was out there for a week, and it was, got stranded in Colorado, trying to get back home. Basically, plane delays. So I ended up getting to the gate just as, shortly after they'd closed the door and started pressurizing the cabin and everything like that. And I'm just like, I can see the plane. It is right there. Let me on. And they were just like, we can't. And I'm like, all right. So I was in the Denver airport, and I was a little disappointed because I didn't get to see all of the, I looked around, and I really tried to find the door that'll take you to where the mole people are, but unfortunately I couldn't find it. So that was a little disappointing, certainly after the week that I'd had. I was really hoping to see if they had any good, rats on a stick or something like that, but sadly they didn't. But I did see, there's supposedly all these weird, statues and stuff like that in there. The only one that I saw was, I did see a gargoyle that was coming out of a suitcase. I think it had a necktie on. So that was kind of cool. But that's about it. But that's the thing. That's why there's all these conspiracy theories around it. There's supposed to be all this weird, but there wasn't. But when I got back, after I was kind of ready to have watched some fun stuff, I watched the new Beetlejuice, which I really enjoyed. It has its issues. I certainly could have used more. What's that?
The first one has issues.
True.
Not
But
as many as this one, but it does have its issues.
Yeah. I just could have used some more of Monica Bellucci's character, Dolores. But I mean, aside from that, I thought it was a great sequel. It really had the right vibe and everything like that, and it was a lot of fun. And honestly, I love the fact that we're getting Jenny Ortega as the new Christina Ricci Winona Ryder for this generation, because she's fantastic.
She's the it goth girl.
Cobra Kai. What's that?
Beetlejuice continues Tim Burton's thing about casting his girlfriend, because he's now dating Monica Bellucci. So
lucky son.
Which really bums out David Lynch.
I wanted to date her. Cobra Kai, fantastic. Caught up to that. I love
second half of the season to do.
I know because when they would, I'm like, show is so good. And the trailer dropped for Karate Kid Legends.
We're gonna have to see that.
Which has I'm probably not going to go back and watch the first of this new line with Jackie Chan, but I'll watch this one. Just because I don't like Jaden Smith. I freely admit it. I'm not a fan of the kid. So Cobra Kai, I love what they're doing with that show. It's so good. Every time with all the, I started to feel bad for Kreese at one point in time towards the end. I mean, not a lot, but just a little bit.
There's times
yeah.
where I felt bad for him.
But freaking Martin Cove, he's like 147 years old, barely moves, still seems threatening. What the hell, and menacing. So good. Skeleton Crew. I know that somebody asked in the chat room if we're
yeah.
watching.
yeah.
I think it was
What I
Syrinx
was
was watching.
watching. Yes.
And I know you
I've
guys
seen the first two
had so
episodes.
much stuff. Oh, Skeleton Crew, so good, so good. Watch the most recent episode before here.
A kid into it because we think she'd really like this.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'd be surprised.
She's been too busy.
I'd be surprised if any kid doesn't like it. It is just so darn good, and it is. So to me, like the best Star Wars we've had in a very long time. And keep in mind, I haven't seen the animated stuff, but I think Andor and Skeleton Crew right now are my favorite Star Wars stuff that we've had. Of course, the movie Rogue One, but certainly when it comes to TV, you got Andor and you've got Skeleton Crew, and to me, they're just two sides of the same coin, where we're getting the Star Wars universe, we're getting interesting stories, we're getting other people. It's not just, oh look, there's the Jedi, which I love the Jedi, but the universe is bigger than just the Jedi. And then they are very different because one's a very adult look at Star Wars and the kind of stuff that had to happen for the Star Wars universe for the movies to become what they were, with all the spy stuff and intrigue and everything like that. But then we got Skeleton Crew because it's like, yeah, there's kids in Star Wars. There's gonna be adventures. So of course we also need that. And it's like bringing that joy. They're basically putting on screen how we felt when we saw our first Star Wars. And I love it. And all the kids on it are great. All the actors are great. Jude Law's fantastic, but name him bad and something. He's always good. And the last thing that I'll mention is the new Superman trailer. Have you guys seen that?
So good.
Yeah.
I'll let you talk.
There's a part of me that wishes they had saved Crypto for the movie, but it made me immediately go, yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
I mean, here's the thing, James Gunn, come on, he's good. Now, the only thing that I'm worried about with the new Superman is it's James Gunn, and he has a very particular sense of humor. How are they going to, because I don't want him to be restricted and not be able to tell the stories that he wants to, but still be able to use everything in his tool set. And then I remembered, as I was looking through the cast list, and I saw Mrs. Tessmacher, that she's in it. But just as a character, I don't know anything about the plot with her. But I realized with Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, they have Miss Tessmacher in there. And I'm like, well, the Donner movies, the humor really came from Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. And holy cow, they're doing the titles just like the Donner version and stuff like that. I'm like, I guarantee you, because Nicholas Hoult can do comedy, he can do menacing, he can do all of that stuff. I'm telling you, it is going to be, and it's going to feel like a James Gunn movie.
It's got John Williams music.
It has, but a modern version of it.
Yes.
The extra characters. I mean, we got Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, Nathan Fillion with the stupid haircut of Guy Gardner. That's going to be amazing. James Gunn has not had a single swing and a miss for me. There's been some stuff that is, he didn't hit it as hard as he had some of the other ones, but he has not made a bad movie that I have seen. And I'm looking forward to this, and I think it's going to be a really good return to how people view Superman. Because I like the Zack Snyder Superman, but it very much felt like a, that was a different Earth than the Donner, than Earth Donner and stuff like that. Just like Constantine is a fun movie, but it's a different Earth than than Hellblazer Constantine. But so I am looking forward to that. And I'm not a Superman mark, but I enjoy a good movie, and I want to see that character done the way that he should. And right now is a good time for Superman to come back, I think, in pop culture. I think he's needed. I think it's a good thing. So that has been my Geeky Sweekses.
Cool. So from season 3, holy God, where they left season 2 and what they've done with this season, turning things completely upside down and crazy and giving us yet another Well, that's the season finale right there, folks. Holy God. I cannot wait for her to catch up. This is going to be fantastic. But this season completely solidified the theory that I started getting near the end of season 2. So, yeah. Hey, speaking of the other parts of the Star Wars universe, Star Wars Outlaws. The first
Yeah.
DLCs has dropped. The wild card, where the Empire forces you to go compete in Sabacc tournament to win a moon for them. Yeah, it's complicated, it's weird, but Lando is at your table, so that's going to be great. Now, here's the thing. I've done all the preliminary stuff to get to the table. My kid said she wanted to watch me play Sabacc, so I've been waiting. And if she doesn't come watch me soon, I'm just going to play the damn thing because, oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait. Black Friday. Steam had the Mad Max game from about 5 years ago on sale for $2. Or, if you got the bundle of Mad Max with the 2 Watchmen games, it was $1.80.
Man.
So I've picked up the Mad Max game, and that's kind of fun.
I've heard it's good. Yeah.
It's better. It should have gotten more of an impact when it came out because that's a pretty damn good game. I'm enjoying that quite a bit. I finished up the Tomb Raider animated on Netflix, and of course I'm a dumbass. It took me to the very last episode to realize that Haley Atwell is the voice of Lara Croft.
Wow. That's Agent Carter. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I wrote down Skeleton Crew because I knew she forgot it, so there's that. I watched Alien Romulus.
It was pretty good.
It was. And you know what? If this had been the sequel before Aliens, I think Aliens would have been even more impactful because this is...
Yeah. It makes sense. It makes sense. My only hiccup with it is I don't like it when they bring actors back from the dead using CG. So, I realized they went to Ian Holmes' estate and they did get permission,
Yes.
but it just looked awful for me.
Well, it took me 2 times seeing him before I realized that's what that was supposed to be. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
When he's on the screen, like, and they're talking and stuff, it looked fine. But when they're trying to show him just full on, it's just like, oh my gosh, that face is just moving all over the place.
It is kind of weird. It is kind of weird. All right, now, so here's the big moment where Carol and I disagree immensely. Smile 2. I loved the first Smile movie, and I thought the fact that the smiles didn't happen that often made the smile that much more impactful when it did happen. I loved everything they did to that. Smile 2, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but Smile 2 picks up from the first movie with a character who was there from the first movie, and they don't tie that character into what happens in Smile 2 at all. Not in the slightest, because Smile 2 is about a pop star who now gets the curse, which is it's an interesting concept that a celebrity would get this, because that is a very interesting concept, and the fact that the guy that she picks up the curse from was not present in the opening sequence makes no sense to me whatsoever, not at all. And if you like more smiles, sure, they give you a hell of a lot more smiles. But I thought the apartment scene was absolutely ludicrous. I thought it was just completely damn silly and ludicrous.
That was them trying to mimic Climax.
Okay.
Which is a Gaspar Noé movie. That's how I took it, because I don't know if you've ever seen Climax. It's a really intense film, shot kind of long sequences of one-shot takes, and some really fantastic dancing. But they do these weird body movements in that movie, and that's what it was reminding me of in Smile 2.
And the original,
I didn't mind it so much. I did think the apartment scene was ludicrous, but I still thought this was more fun than the first one.
The first movie had this wonderful thing where stuff happens and it turns out, no, actually it didn't. That's just the nature of reality and what's going on with this demon. But this movie has about 30 to 40 minutes of it that never actually happened. Never actually happened. And, I mean, so it's the same director, the guy from the first movie, the writer-director. He's back for this one, and I honest to God think he made this movie so he would never have to make another one of these movies, because this movie also sets up a sequel that will never get made, because it's impossible to make a sequel out of that ending.
Smile 3 in space.
That would not be nearly as dumb as what they set up.
Wow.
Spoil it for you if you like. Would you like it to be spoiled?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. I've seen it, so.
She kills herself on stage in front of hundreds, if not thousands, of fans.
Wow.
So either the demon attaches to everybody in that goddamn audience, or the demon's picking and choosing who they're going to do. So there's not a Smile 3 because you'd have to follow hundreds of people. It's
They tried that with Rings. I don't know if you've ever watched the movie Rings.
yes.
It's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. But yes, that's kind of a similar thing because they're showing the ring tape to like parties of people.
Yes.
You know, here's the thing, Mr. Flynn. I'm telling you, you're missing the whole idea. Instead of just making Smile 3, we can make Smile 3 through 103. We've got 100 stories that we can follow here, and I'm telling you, we can carry ourselves into the next millennium with these stories.
Yeah, unless they're going to pick up like
Send your kids to college.
for every movie. I'm just
Buy your grandkids a yacht.
There was a dumb addition to this movie, like the person she sees kill himself. She sees this person a couple of times after that happened, which was not something that happened in the first movie. And in both instances, I thought it was dumb. I thought it was dumb, and I was like, I had read so much. People were saying that, oh, it's better than the first. It's better. It's so good, and I really wanted to like this movie, but no, Smile 2.
I don't think this is a disparity like Ouija and Ouija Origin of Evil. Ouija Origin of Evil is so far superior than the first Ouija. It's kind of silly. But you also have Mike Flanagan doing it. So
It's after Milton
this
Bradley
was
took
not
over, too.
that far above. I just felt it was a lot more fun. The first one, I just thought was a slog.
Okay.
I just thought it was a slog. So
You know. Agree to disagree. Boom!
The wonderful Billy Flynn looks at what Chad and Abby are up to now. If you know what TV show they're on this week, you could win yourself a prize. It's Adventures of Chad and Abby update.
Abby meets Chad on the plane, and he tells her that the magazine he works for is looking for folks, so get a job. Needless to say, they become pals, but could it be more? Chad and Kate are competing to get their story as the lead for the next issue, and Abby says she's going to help both of them. But she loses Chad's story, because writers used to use paper. Chad's friend Stefan comes for a visit, but not for Chad. See, he used to date Abby and wants her back. Hell, he wants to marry her. But Abby thinks she has grown past that nonsense. Chad worries he's one of the wrong guys and that his stories will not connect. Abby is just trying not to catch a virus. These wacky kids are experiencing whatever but worship. All but a more. Everything but endearment. Hashtag Chabby forever.
You got mail, baby.
Did you say butt worship?
No, I did not. I put a
You
pause.
did.
I put a pause between them. Hey, Geek. I don't know how many people actually watched it, but Chad and Abby are on After MASH, a show that desperately needed to find its tone and could really have used a Hawkeye cameo. Though it was good to see Radar, at least I know you can't do one on Walter. No one should ever see the show Walter. Keep on geeking. That is from Michael. Well, yes, Michael. Last time Chad and Abby were definitely on After MASH. Good times, right? If you'd like to drop us a note, by all means, please do. It's podcast at geekradiodaily.com. Or, of course, a voicemail text message. Use the magic numbers of.
What up, GRD crew?
And tell all of your friends to come subscribe to our page. Because if I get to 100, I'm giving away a Black Series Boba Fett helmet. It's awesome. It's fantastic. And you really want it. And soon I'm just going to keep it and give it to less privileged children. So take things away from kids. Come on, please stop. What? You're a weirdo, sir. You're a weirdo. Anyway, that's what's happening. And yeah, I guess we'll be back in a moment.
Am I evil? Yes, I am. Diamond Head's classic heavy metal anthem became Metallica's greatest cover and one of the most iconic songs in heavy metal history. And now it comes to life in Am I Evil, the graphic novel. Hey everyone, this is Jack Mangan of the Metal Hall of Fame, MetalAsylum.net, the Deadpan Podcast, and Spherical Toming. Learn more at the Am I Evil graphic novel Facebook page and at www.amievil-graphicnovel.com.
Hi, this is for a Geek Radio Daily. Sweep the leg from Marty Sensei Cove.
Yes, Sensei.
I figured you would like that. Yeah, good time. Welcome
So
back
good.
to it. It's time to make things happen.
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
Geek News.
From a geeky point of view.
Well, Kids, let your inner 12-year-old rejoice. The Indiana Senate passed a bill to legalize throwing stars for recreational use, inspired by constituent suggestion. State Senator Linda Rogers, a Republican from Granger, noted widespread support comparing it to axe throwing, which is already legal in other states. However, safety concerns remain, such as the risk of injuries from bent blades, prompting suggestions like requiring Kevlar gloves. The bill includes safeguards limiting throwing stars, or star throwing rather, to specific businesses, requiring fencing and mandating parental permission for minors aged 12 to 17. Supporters emphasize the activity's safety and educational potential when properly managed, because what's safer than letting a child throw something that is literally made of all points? With a 48-1 vote, the bill moves to the House for further consideration, signaling strong support for its approval just in time for Christmas.
There's an axe throwing place here in our area, Richmond, Virginia, where they also do ninja stars, and they do batarangs. They have like Batman batarangs that you can throw.
Oh,
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of bloody messes,
yes,
Nosferatu isn't even in theaters yet, but it's already setting the internet on fire with its trailers and stellar reviews. This fresh take on a chilling classic story is certainly one to watch when it hits theaters on Christmas Day, and while you probably won't ever get the twisted pleasure of being the apple of a vampire's eye, you can at least evoke the vibes by smelling like this gothic horror film. All you need is a couple of spritzes from Heretic Parfums Nosferatu. 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 Perfume, and just maybe you'll attract someone's attention after all. I'm not sure who you want to attract smelling like a vampire, but you will. This limited edition and custom scent, aptly named Nosferatu, 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 is in direct partnership with Focus Features and boasts a clean yet sophisticated fragrance. Because when you think Count Orlok, you think clean yet sophisticated. It will work well if you like to layer your scents, giving a dash of floral, garlic, a little woody, like the steak, and some earthy worms and more. There's a hint of something in its combination that will delight a variety cologne and perfume wearers, especially those who love a scent that plays well with moonlight adventures. Thankfully, a little Nosferatu goes a long way to make you smell far better than the undead throughout the day. It hangs in the air, much like the spirit would, but not in overly strong and off-putting way. And at a price point of $125 for a 30 milliliter bottle, it feels like a bargain in quality.
It'd be crazy
Incidentally, this is not Nosferatu. This is a lip oil from Five Below, because that's more my budget. And if you want to do more than smell like a ghoul, you can sleep like one too.
Oh, God.
Have the best sleep of your life with the newly announced Nosferatu sarcophagus bed from Focus Features. The full-size replica, as featured in Nosferatu, is handcrafted from premium materials, including a wooden base with intricate carvings. The highly collectible sarcophagus will also feature a distinctive interior with a custom-fit mattress and foam lid for easy opening at sundown. The sarcophagus bed weighs 250 pounds, and the retail price is $20,000.
Wow.
The beds are made to order and on a limited run. Just don't come crying to us when some random Van Helsing busts into your house and stakes you, smelling like a vampire and sleeping like one.
I never smell like wine.
Guillermo,
Wow.
Guillermo, what is that weird smell? I know, chum. What is it? Smells like cat vomit in a dumpster.
Okay, then.
Wow. All right, well, let's bring it back down to like Earth and reality and everything here. I have some pretty cool science news. This was part of a profile of the Seattle area's uncommon thinkers, inventors, scientists, technologists, entrepreneurs, recognized at the Geek Wire Gala, which, sounds like it could be fun. Open bar, I'm sure, right? So this is all about Chris Dunkley and his team. They take decaying U.S. weapons waste from Cold War era material so radioactive it can only be handled remotely, Radioactive, radioactive. The waste component that he and his team are using is so rare that their total supply of it weighs the equivalent of 17 US pennies. We will do anything in this country to avoid using the metric system. The startup here is using the waste to extract a radioisotope called actinium-225 that's being tested as a highly anticipated and promising medical therapy, turning war ammunition into a tool for fighting cancer, which is kind of cool. Now, the startup announced that it's the first commercial scale producer of this actinium-225. Wait, that's the wrong stuff. Thanks to the process developed by his team, TerraPower isotopes should be able to purify enough of the material for up to 400,000 doses of cancer therapies every year for many years to come. They they've done a bunch of initial tests on prostate cancer that resist other treatments. It's part of a broader field of cancer care using antibodies that recognize cancerous cells and bind to them while carrying isotopes or chemical poisons that destroy the diseased cells. Actinium-225 can be that payload, creating a radiopharmaceutical that kills the targeted cells. So this is just one of these things to kind of keep their eye on. The drug developers are testing their treatment in phase 1, 2, and 3 trials, working toward approval by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. So it's nice to know that, as much as cancer sucks and it's taking people from us all the time, that, scientists are working on new innovative ways to try to destroy it.
Yeah.
Yay. F cancer.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
First law of time, don't cross your own time stream. The doctor absolutely positively, under no circumstances, and under pain of dire consequences, should never, ever, ever meet himself, except for the many, many times he's done exactly that. And
right.
history repeats itself as this year's Christmas special, Joy to the World, the doctor literally teams up with himself. And no, thank God, they're not coming back. No. Shutigawa's doctor teams up with Shutigawa's doctor. The trailer is out that shows two identically dressed versions of Gatwa's doctor having some fun bantering, and one asks the other, "How do I get to be you? And where do I go? What do I do?" And is told both times, "We'll find out." Timey-wimey, what the hell? The vagueness proves too much and prompts some truths from the doppelganger. Oh, do you see? You have to be mysterious all the time. That's why everybody leaves you. This is why you're always alone. And flashback to Ruby Sunday hugging the doctor goodbye in the series 14 finale, and a shot of 15 with a tear running down his cheek. Hey, Moffat, you know what mysterious would be? Bringing back the Valiant. Look it up, New Who kids. We already know from the teaser clip released that the Doctor is facing an enemy that dates back all the way to Moffat's first Doctor Who script proper, 2005's The Empty Child / The Doctor Dances, and which returned in the 2024 episode, boom! Intergalactic weapons manufacturer Villain Guard. Add to that a Silurian, a T-Rex, a hotel celebrating Christmas in every time period from prehistoric to 18th century to present day, and the whole time Tom Baker's Doctor is slowly rowing down a river. The official synopsis for the special: when Joy checks into a London hotel in 2024, she opens a secret doorway to the Time Hotel, discovering danger, dinosaurs, and the Doctor. But a deadly plan is unfolding across the Earth just in time for Christmas. Whether the second 15 is really him, a hologram, a Zygon, or just a really excellent cosplayer, we're going to find out on Christmas Day. So, we will finally, after all these years, have an episode that literally asks the question, Doctor Who? GRD is licensed with Creative Commons Attribution, non-commercial, non-derivative works, United States, people don't like, check us on Facebook, on Twitter, stop at the website, GeekRadio.com.
I'm really disappointed whenever they have all of the doctors. They don't have a scene where they're like, doctor.
Don't call me Shirley.
Drop us a note. It's podcast at geekradiodaily.com. Of course, a voicemail, text message. We take either one of those. You just use the numbers.
510 GRD crew.
Do you like Cybermen films?
Spies like us can do the
Your grown dialect naked.
crazy.
You are all weirdos.
Yes.
Peace out, man.
This has been the saddest excuse for entertainment I've ever seen.
This is no respectable establishment. I'm going.
Give you another Swahili word. It's Tron. It means dude.
Yeah, Tron, dude.
All these gangs like that name so well,
and they all decide to use it. For instance, the pros right here in the middle start calling themselves the protons, and the new boys, well, they start calling themselves the neutrons. And out here on the edge here, the elected ones, they start calling themselves the
electrons, the protons, and the neutrons.
Yeah. And all this right here, this is the neighborhood. This is block after block of nothing. You understand block after block of nothing, don't you?
Yeah, I know all about that. And your time is up, Professor DJ.
Good. I was finished anyway. Now you go on back to school, man.
School? Man, all I know about is a bunch of damn gangs that live in a round neighborhood.
Arnold, that's the atom. That's it, man. That's it. What's this right here? Huh?
Protons and neutrons.
All right, and they call this the what?
Nucleus.
All right, what are these guys up here?
Electrons.
Are they negative or positive?
Negative.
And how do they move?
Round and round.
And if I got two of them, how many protons do I have?
2.
Now, protons negative or positive?
Positive.
All right, and what's all this right here?
Oh, that's the neighborhood.
Which is?
Nothing.
You got it, man. You get an A.
Boom.
What was that from?
It's WKRP.
Okay, I was wondering.
It's Adam. Yeah.
I was wondering because the one dude sounded familiar, but I was like, nah, I don't know.
Yeah,
My ears might be racist.
You know, that's been remarked before.
They do be that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hear color.
It's probably for the best.
Good show, y'all. Good show.
It was.
Times.
All right, so when do we next is January 2nd. Wow, y'all see you
January
next
2nd,
year.
New Year's.
So many people are already out of office using that damn joke.
You see you next year. I'm not coming back in until next year. Screw this place.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Oh.
All right, party people.
Yeah, I've been awake since 3 o'clock this morning, so I'm
Oof.
kind of tired.
Yeah, you go bed.
So
Yeah, you
I'm
go
gonna
sleep.
go and crawl into my sarcophagus that did not cost me $20,000 and go to sleep.
But ironically, she does smell like Nosferatu right now. Take a shower
Right,
first.
I
Jesus.
know.
That was so
great, Carol. That was awesome.
Oh, goodness. So sad.
Excellent job,
We
everybody.
should do
Believe it
the
or not,
show.
I was in a
Loopy.
commercial for Nosferatu.
All right, people.
All right, love you guys. Thank you
Love
guys
you
for
too,
tuning in
Rich.
so much, and we will catch you guys on the next show.